Age is real. All right, guys, so this is my third video in this series of videos, and I want to talk about the fact that age is much more real. The age matters. So one thing that we see a lot in America is kind of this kind of evergreen. I'm the boss bee. I'm that chick. I'm gonna be that chick forever. And you see, you know, certain women on television, and they're in their 40s and their 50s, and they're like, yeah, I still got it. And it's easy to kind of see that as kind of the norm, but I be don't there's no mistake about it. If you go to overseas where there are places where getting married is seen as something that's really, really important for just life viability, right? You'll see a much more real approach to just age. And you could play around with age as much as you want to, but you really can't get away from the fact that you are the age that you are. And so you see it with the Nia Long thing where, I mean, she's 50. I mean, there's no way that a 50-year-old woman can do the same things as she did when she was 30. And so you can't really hide the age. I mean, you can hide it in the beginning, but sooner or later, it's going to come out. And so when I say age is real, what I mean is that when you're dealing with people, that is a huge factor in not just behavior, but expectations. So make no mistake about it. When you're dealing with, you know, the people, the ladies that you're dealing with, it would be very important for you to take age into account. Okay. So the second point I want to make sure is that you should definitely know what is the kind of expected marital age for where you are. Okay. So America is kind of difficult because marriage is, I don't know how to explain it, but people aren't really marrying like they used to. But if you get away from the West and you have a chance to be around, you know, some more, I shouldn't say traditional, but less Western societies, there are expectations inside of families especially for young women, to get married by a certain age. No doubt about that. I can say certainly for the country that I'm living in that there is definitely an age expectation for marriage. And if you meet women that are close to that expectation age, you'll see behavior that's pressing, right? Especially if they see you as a viable candidate. So definitely do some, I don't know if you can do research as much as maybe word of mouth, and just get a feel for, like, what is the age where women are expected to get married, or the age that they think they should be married by, and then factor that into your you know, your dealings. Okay, so I just said it, right? You got to factor in age for what you're looking for. So if you're looking for something a little bit more serious, you should probably look for women that are right at that marriage age, maybe a little bit over, maybe a little bit younger per se, but look for women around that age that they're thinking about, it's time to lock someone down and get married. If that's what you're looking for. If you're not looking for that, I would say that either you got two options. Either A, you can date younger, which would probably mean that you might be halfway in between, where she might be thinking about marriage, but she's not really ready to settle down with someone yet, or something like that. Or you could just be honest and upfront from the beginning and say, well, this is where I am, and I'm not looking for anything super serious. So I just want to make that clear on the front end. And so, you know, you're not, I think, it's breaking any hearts or being dishonest, because for whatever reason, people play the dishonest game in America, and that's fine. But playing the dishonest game in another country, you might get into some trouble if you're not upfront in terms of just, you know, if something goes down, and you know, who knows, and something could go down, and you know, she might pay you back for not being honest. But definitely, if you're looking for someone that's serious, looking for someone around that marriage age, and, you know, kind of deal with people in that kind of marriage minded, and you might be surprised. You might find someone a lot easier than you're thinking. And if you're not looking for that, you could date much older, or well, I shouldn't say much older, but older than the marriage age, and be honest and say, hey, listen, this is what it is. Or younger than that marriage age, and just, both of you are just having a good time, right? So another thing is, baby rabies, that's everywhere, man. Like, people have baby rabies. Like, don't leave that out of your calculus. Like, that's a thing. If you meet a woman that is, closer to the marriage age, or she's past the marriage age, and she, this is not even talking ill of women. This is just something that is natural. It's natural, man. Like, it's this chemical thing that's happening inside of humans. And, someone is, in their early 30s, or maybe their late 20s, or they might be in mid 30s. And you guys kind of establish a relationship. That is just a real possibility that she's thinking about something that you're not necessarily considering. And you should definitely take that into account when that's why I go back to age again, because if you know that age for, marriage or whatever, starting a family, is about in the wheelhouse or a little bit past that for the person you're with, you have to understand that what that person is considering in that relationship might be something more than just having a good time. Okay. So definitely understand that women are a little bit different, but they're not that different. And the last thing I want to say is, you should use the age not as a way of judging someone, like, oh, I'll date you, I won't date you. It's just, what it helps you do is understand where that lady is in that culture, right? So what I mean by that is, we don't really have this so much in America now, but if you go back in America maybe 20, 30 years, 50, 60 years, you have like families kind of like reminding every time you have a holiday or, a birthday, it's like, oh, you haven't found a man yet? Like, when you going to find a man and settle down? Oh, what happened to that nice guy you were dating? Oh, you're not dating anymore? Oh, I hope you find somebody soon. That kind of reinforcement that's always there. That happens in all cultures. And so if you're with someone and they're close to that marriage age for that culture, and you know that she's near that marriage age, and you're like, you know what? I wouldn't mind settling down with this person. Then you might find a good match, right? And you might find someone that's past that marital age, and you kind of understand her predicament. Like, she wants someone that is going to be with her, and they can start a family, and she's not playing the games. And you shouldn't disparage her just because, she's, whatever this red pill, a lot of this red pills things talks about, you should date women of a certain age, whatever. But if you find the kind of person you want to be with, and that person is, in their early 30s, mid 30s, you can do your thing. There's nothing there. You just should understand that if that person is really thinking about their situation as a major factor, as opposed to just having a good time, then you could factor that into your decision of how serious you want to be. And so if you meet someone and she's like, oh, I'm 32, and you're like, I'm not going to date you because you're 32, that's kind of ridiculous. Like, she might be a really cool person, and she's been a whole bunch of time in college, or she, whatever. And don't use age as a disqualifier. Use it as a tool for understanding inside of the culture. Okay. All right. So with that said, I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and please feel free to comment, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.